Greetings and salutations to all you folks out there. I have a 1 versus 1 for you today between ZLO and Zockyzock, two extremely high rated players, and I picked out this map because I wanted a good example of expansion play. This map is a bit of a difficult one. I've played it a couple of times in a ladder situation, and both times it ended badly for me because I did not expand properly. There is a ton of land area that is all segmented by these water sections, and neither one of these players is a hover faction. I say hover, all of them have some hover except for Cybrin, but you get what I mean by that in the Tech 1 phase. So basically you have to depend on either expansion by engineer, ACU, or drops. And of course on the UEF's part, that is also including drones, because those can fly across and build things, which is a pretty useful feature for the UEF to have. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this game, and hopefully we can pick out some good tips as far as playing on large sprawling maps. Zockyzock is on the northern side, he has gone UEF, and ZLO is on the southern side going Cybrin. And expect me to mix up these names quite often because they both start with Z and they're both 2000 rated players, and my brain cannot handle that much similarity, and that is kind of sad now that I think about it. We've got engineers scuttling everywhere. This map has enough separation that you really don't have to worry about a bomber immediately. Even if you go first bomber, it will be several seconds before it gets over there, and you will have plenty of time to build a couple of mobile anti-air units. Both of these guys are going second air because you do need the first land so that you can get engineers up and reclaiming, because there is a good bit of reclaim. There's a lot of rocks scattered around in these sections here. Plus, when you drop the other land masses, you'll be able to pick up the reclaim there as well. Now, ZLO, this is Zockyzock. See, I'm already doing it. He is building a bomber second after an air scout, and then he is laying down 4 additional air factories in the midst of a power generator configuration that is quite interesting here. And you will see that his eco is actually balanced brilliantly. He goes slightly negative on power when he goes negative on mass, and he is burning off his reclaim quite handily without stalling too badly, although he is dipping now. I guarantee you though that he will be correcting that power stall as he's playing. ZLO is similarly equipped in his eco. He is able to burn off his reclaimed mass effectively without power stalling. He's actually up to 500 income right now, and he is building his power configuration around his 4th air factory. So both of these guys are going extremely heavy air. And that is something that you've got to do when you're on a map this big. Control of the sky grants you map control, because you are able to get your units from one place to another faster, and you are able to harass more effectively, because on a landmass this big, there is no way in hell that you're going to pull complete land control with only land units. At some point, actually, yes, here is the Navy already going down. I was going to say we are probably going to see Tech 2 Navy. Cybrin has the amazing Salem class, and then if UEF can get in the water and not get pushed out, the UEF has the ever-handy cruiser, which has incredibly good anti-air, as well as the shore barrage with that TAC launcher. We've got multiple Tech 1 bombers on the field now. Those are going to be buzzing about probably all game. Oh, that is interesting right there. Zockyzock was able to get some engineers back here undetected, and he is going to start building whatever he very well pleases in the back corner back there, stealthy as he can be. What do you know? UEF actually pulled the wool over the Cybrin's eyes, and bomber harassment from both players in both directions. We have air control goes to ZLO. There are some interceptors back in Zockyzock's base, but sadly not enough to deny this kind of front with air. And then we do have a couple of factories down here. The engineers were killed off by the bomber, so new ones are going to have to be built, but right now those factories are producing Mantis. And overall, things are looking very good for ZLO. He's got his Navy in the water. He's got his expansion on this side. Actually, he owns half the map right now, although that is about to be contested, and he has no land units over here. And he has aggressively hit the northern expansion next to Zockyzock's base. So it's going to be interesting to see how Zockyzock reacts to this. He is getting hammered pretty hard at the moment. However, he was able to front enough tanks he is able to claim this expansion point. Nothing is going to come out of that factory that isn't going to be killed by the tanks, but we have Tech 2 gunships. ZLO is now Tech 2 air. He's going to use the amazing Renegade. Yes, that is called a Renegade. I'm just double checking. The only Tech 2 gunship with area of effect, and that makes it extremely handy at wiping out groups of units because it damages more than once. However, when you get hit in the face with interceptors, you are going to go down. It's about as effective as throwing a pie at a comedian, but much less hilarious. And frigates standing all over the place. You can see how they're being spread out over the map. That is both for radar coverage and for anti-air coverage. We had Mantis drops over here, but they are being targeted on the factory, I guess. That was very strange. Not sure. They were firing at different engineers and ended up all being reclaimed. So, apparently engineers trump Mantis. You know what to do, folks. Build engineers. More Tech 1 bombers hovering about. The air was distracted on the southern side, and now that ZLO is focused on maintaining his expansion, Zockyzock is doing a pretty good job of recovering his own expansion. Couple more passes with a bomber of some kind and he will be able to eliminate that point defense. Problem is there are so many Cybern frigates over here that it's making air very hard to get across the channel. I think that, yes, the Navy is pretty much owned by Zockyzock, although there are subs producing right here. We'll have to see how that goes. Those frigates are probably going to go up the channel and spot that pretty quickly here. He has not scouted it yet, and he is stopping short of it. So it will live on in subtlety for a little while longer. Alright, Wagners on the field over here. Those have come from the home base, I would imagine. Yes, they have. The handy-dandy stealthy Wagner diving under the water only to emerge on the other side. These are sneaky son of a guns right here. You cannot detect them underneath the water unless you have sonar. So say your ACU is on that shore. Pop, 20 Wagners come out from under the water and your ACU is toasted by their incredibly high damage statistics before you can even do anything about it. Wagners are more damage effective per mass than Rhinos are, the other Tech 2 tank for Cybern. That is an epic air battle right there. ZLO has gone much heavier air and it is good. It is gaining him a pretty good upper hand at the moment, because he has all of these extra gunships, so as soon as he chooses to do so, he can harass wherever he wants, except for where there is a mobile flak. That is the ultimate gunship denial tool right there, buzzing over towards that group. Okay. As I was saying, the Rhino has, or the Wagner has much higher damage than the Rhino does, but it has less health. However, when you're going after an ACU, your total health statistic doesn't really matter as a Tech 2 unit because one overcharge and you're dead anyway. Therefore, if you micro your Rhinos, or your Wagners rather, so that they don't get hit. Oh, this is not good at all. We got gunships over here, torpedo bombers harassing Zockyzock's comm. Luckily, he does have a bunch of subs next to him, so I don't think he is in immediate danger. We do have a cruiser coming out. So much air production. Holy kashmoli, Zock is really laying down the hammer here on air production. He went from total air loss to nearly equivalent numbers in the blink of an eye as far as a game like this goes. And he has been able to deny air coverage right here. However, this cruiser is going to lay down some very impressive covering fire, and that is going to make it that much harder for Zockyzock to come back from this. Zockyzock is looking... He does have more eco still, even though he has lost some control, but his map control is dwindling and his options are becoming more limited. I don't think he has a whole lot longer in this game if he doesn't pull something brilliant. Alright, I am determined to finish the Wagner discussion because I did not finish the Tech 3 mobile missile launcher discussion in the other one, and I felt really bad about that. Anyway, since you're being overcharged as a one-shot kill anyway, the higher damage potential of the Wagners actually does better for ACU sniping than the Rhinos does. And you add to that the fact that you can jump in and out of the water and basically completely stealth yourself, and the Wagner is a really amazing tool. It's also pretty speedy. That is handy because Rhinos are kind of slow and cumbersome. Alright, that is the end of the discussion on the Wagner versus Rhino. It took me about 5 minutes to get through it, but there you go, folks. It is finished. Alright, we now have a Wagner problem on the mainland. Zockyzock is throwing down point defense to try to kill those things off, but he is going to lose a mass extractor right there, and that is something that he really cannot afford to lose. ZLO is rapidly ticking up on his mass income. He is up to 92 at the moment, has been ecoing hard, and Zockyzock is on a downward trend. He is down to 47. Was ZLO reclaiming? Was that really that long of a reclaim? No, he is power stalling. That is what the problem is. Let's zip back over here to Zock. He is definitely not power stalling. That is his real income. So we have 107 versus 47. That is over double the ecom to ZLO. ZLO was actually not the favorite to win this game. If you look over here at the ranks, Zock is actually rated higher than ZLO. I've got to say, ZLO did a phenomenal job harassing up here, and that threw Zock off balance, and he was able to deny the push that was made down here. So since he was successful on his harassment and Zockyzock did minimal damage with his harassment, and then you go look at the reclaim numbers for who got whose units. ZLO is up to 38,000 reclaims. Zockyzock is up to 49 actually, but the eco income is too great, or the eco difference is too great. I would have thought Zockyzock had more reclaim than that. It is because most of the reclaim was over here and over here, I think. And ZLO did end up with relatively good control of those. There are some strat bombers. I saw those a minute ago, and they were going to try to sneak in on the ACU. Unfortunately, the ACU is under shielding, and that is going to be a futile attempt. Zockyzock is going to bail on the game. I do not blame him. That the good game is thrown out, and that's going to be the end of this replay. All right. Nothing flashy in this game, but I really wanted to take a look at expansion and raiding techniques. Hopefully you guys picked up a couple pointers, something that you can use in your build, or something of interest at the very least. I think the biggest takeaway from this game is harassment and air control. You can see how many interceptors. There were literally hundreds of interceptors built that game, and air control played a vital role. I can say from personal experience that the reason that I lost on this map the first couple times I played it was because I did not build enough air. It is a huge map. You need lots of air. You have lots of eco. Build it. All right. Lesson learned. Let us all move on. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been a very great pleasure bringing these videos to you. This marks about 4.5, 5 months that I've been doing it now, and I've got to say I've had a great time. There's been ups and downs, and some casts are better than others, but overall I think I've improved somewhat. I went and listened to one of my old casts the other day, and I was flabbergasted at how horrendous it was. But anyway, I think we all grow in what we do. So thanks for supporting me, guys, through everything that y'all have done as far as donating towards the tournament, your personal support, and all of that. Everyone says thank you in YouTube videos, but I do really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys are great. There's very little hating going on, and you're very supportive. So thank you very much for that. And thanks for watching. That is going to wrap it up for me. I will see you guys in the next one.